How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Sesame Street indoctrinating your children. Well, you know what? I take that back. Hopefully, nobody watching this is allowing their kids to watch Sesame Street right now, January 2020. Hopefully, you're just not doing it. And if you are allowing your kids to watch it, hopefully, you have a DVR and you're recording each episode and you watch it before your kids are able to sit down and watch it, even if they're watching it with you. Because what are you going to tell your son or daughter when they see this guy pop up on the screen? It's going to be totally confusing because when I was a youngin', I probably was like, 2, 3, 4, 5, watching Sesame Street, toddler age. I know how to talk and I'm learning my ABCs, 1, 2, 3s, learning how to write my own name, how to color within the lines. I'm watching Sesame Street to get, more education. My mom would teach me certain things, family would teach me things. I had 2 grandparents that were teachers. So I was getting a lot of information at an early age, but I would also watch this because it was fun. I enjoyed it. I look forward to it. So it was a fun way for me as a very small child to learn ABCs, 1, 2, 3s, like to count one. It was fun, right? Okay. At that age, I'm understanding boys and girls and some differences, and generally how they look. Okay. I know my mom, she wears this, my grandma wears this, my dad wears this. I understand those things. I don't understand everything because I'm a little boy still. I have to learn. My brain is still developing. I'm still essentially a blank slate and I'm being impressed upon every single day. And it's going to stick at that age. It's like learning your first language. Your first language will always be your first language. It'll be more difficult to learn a new language as you get older. The younger you are, the easier it is to pick up on certain things. But I digress. To get back to the point, what are you going to tell your kids when they see this guy on the screen? They're going to be totally confused because they know what a boy looks like, what a girl looks like. How can you really describe what a boy who is dressed as a girl is doing? Mommy, why is he wearing a dress? I like that dress. I want to wear that. That's cool. Mommy, daddy, can I get a dress like that? And you're a little boy. What are you going to tell? This shouldn't be happening on Sesame Street, okay? It just shouldn't be happening. If you want to be an adult and wear a tux dress, that's your business. Do what you want, okay? You a full grown man, got grades in the beard, is that and the third. If you want to wear a tux dress, knock yourself out. Not my cup of tea, not my wave, not my prerogative, but that's your wave, your prerogative. Do whatever you want to do. I'm not going to be the kind of guy that tells you how to dress or whatever. If you're an adult, you want to do that with yourself, that's perfectly fine. However, I think there should be a line drawn with images like this when you're talking about kids, little kids at that, who are not going to really understand what's going on. See, me, I get what you're doing. You are just, drag queening or whatever you want to call it. Transgender. I'm not sure what he want to call himself, but I understand it's just him doing whatever he wants. Okay. Boys and girls that are very young, little kids, they're not going to understand what's happening. They're going to get very confused. This should not be allowed on Sesame Street, but it is. When I first saw this, I thought it was Photoshop, but nah, they have official Twitter accounts, Facebook accounts, Sesame Street that is, with pictures of this guy, not just one in front of the iconic door, but multiple ones. Is one of him sitting down. You got Big Bird laying or whatever right there. You got him hugged up on one of the little puppets or whatever. This is a real thing. It appears as if he's going to be on a Sesame Street episode, but you know what? Like I said from the very beginning, you should not be allowing your kids to watch this show. And if you are, you should already be supervising what they're seeing because this ain't the first time they've done something like this. I think it might be the first time they had a guy like that on the show, as far as I know. And if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments below. But they've done some LGBTQIA, ABCDEFG things in the past. They had the characters from the show lined up in the rainbow colors back in 2017. There was an image on Twitter, and if I could find it, I'll place it on the screen before you. There was also some things back in 2010, 2011, talking about, we're going to stick it to the right wing, this, that, and the third. So this is not a new thing for Sesame Street. And it's really a shame because when I was a kid in the 80s, early 90s, maybe probably late 80s when I was a little boy, I really enjoyed Sesame Street. It was fun. My mom could just, put me in a little high chair, put Sesame Street on, be, cooking dinner or something. I'm right there watching it with her. It was fun. But can you do that anymore as a parent? And there are a lot of other shows on TV that you got to watch, and social media is even worse. I mean, they push messages that are worse than this on social media. TikTok. I saw Lizzo doing a very disgusting thing, or pretending to do a very nasty thing on TikTok. I will not repeat what she was doing, but if you look hard enough, you can find it. And you might not want to find it, but just take my word for it. It was not a thing that should be on that app. TikTok is used by a lot of kids. They go in there, they have little dance routines with the friends, is that and the third. So when Lizzo is on there, who is very visible to these kids, doing something like that, it kind of promotes that kind of behavior. They're talking about STDs and condoms and stuff like that to little kids. I understand the birds and the bees talk must be had at a certain point. The talk of protection and everything else should be had at a certain point. I get it. But that should be up to the parents and not to just random strangers online. I mean, where have we come in society when it was okay for kids to be told about sex and gender identification from fully grown adults that they don't know online or on TV or anything like that? Just a few years ago, what I just showed you and other things that are happening with not only Sesame Street, but a lot of these Nickelodeon, just television, social media in general that is targeted to where kids would not be accepted. I think this is part of the reason why this whole new law has come out that has affected YouTube, because of all these nut jobs creating content for kids, but with explicit messaging in them that is not truly for kids. You got YouTube Kids, the app. It'd be stuff in there that's really crazy. Like, remember the whole Momo thing? Like, you got some really sick and twisted individuals out there. So this thing from Sesame Street and all the other programming that should not be for kids, that is labeled for kids, has got to go away. I'm not sure what the appropriate thing to do here is. A petition, perhaps, maybe even get the FCC involved and say, hey, okay, Sesame Street, if you want to put a gender bending person on television, you cannot do that while at the same time being the kids show. If you want to have some kind of adult variety show, you want to be RuPaul's Drag Race or whatever, okay, that's fine. Put it over there at 10 o'clock at night on the gay channel or some other channel. Don't put that here in the middle of the day on Sesame Street when you are broadcasting to little kids, toddlers that can barely walk and talk. This is ridiculous because, like I said, as I close, these kids don't understand what's going on. You're presenting them with very confusing imagery. If I was a parent, if I had kids, I would never allow my kids to see anything like that. Okay? I'm going to keep my kids away from that. Now, some would say, oh, you sheltering your kids. Well, at a certain point, you got to shelter your kids. You can't just let them see everything. Okay? I know things exist, but should I take my kid to a crack house, let them see junkies start to bang needles? Should I expose that to my kids? Okay? No, I should not. There are certain things that are for children and certain things that are for adults. Let's keep that line in the sand very apparent, very obvious, and let's not try to blur the line. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? Do you think that Billy Porter, and by the way, this guy played the gay warlock on America's Horror Story I'm reading. Do you think that he should be over there on that show doing what he's doing, or on Sesame Street, or both? Whatever your comment is about that, let me know in the comments below. You know where I stand. You should be over there with the adults doing adult stuff. That's fine for me. I don't watch it. I'm not interested in it. Okay. He should not be over on Sesame Street, kind of just sneaking in through the back door, no pun intended, to indoctrinate children. Simple. I mean, I don't see how anybody could say that I'm incorrect here, but maybe somebody says I'm wrong. Do you think that I'm being a bigot? Am I being a homophobe? I can't be a racist. That's another whole thing to this whole situation. This guy, Billy Porter, is a black male, and I think they're using him so they can avoid any kind of allegations of racism, because they had a white transgender cross-dresser or whatever, they would say, oh, where is the people of color? Where is the inclusion? So they're using us as black men to avoid being labeled as racist, to promote dangerous ideology to kids. I don't know about you, but I'm totally offended, 1000%. Not because I'm triggered about the whole race thing, but I don't like being used as a pawn to damage children. But whatever your comments are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.